3 Rams starters are placed on injured reserve. That's suboptimal. Mick Cronin has replaced trashing UCLA players in public for lying. I'll explain why that's actually an upgrade. And maybe, just maybe, LeBron James has changed his game for the Lakers' benefit. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is November 20th, 2025. We added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia yesterday. Thank you. We're going to do our best to keep you informed. And if you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. Now, we have a quick look at the scoreboard because we got a lot to discuss. There were no games involving LA teams yesterday. Meanwhile, today, the Clippers are at Orlando at 4. The Kings are at San Jose at 7. And Troy will take on USC basketball at 7 as well. With that out of the way, what do you say we get to an early start on the news? Because the Rams placed 3 players, starters even, on injured reserve yesterday. Means that they'll all be out for a minimum of 4 weeks. And it sounds bad. If this were the other LA team, they'd call it chargering. I mean, I hear you can do some ramming on Figueroa Street, but I digress. If you're a Rams fan, you've heard of these players. But to be honest with you, I think only one of the losses stings. I think these injuries are actually going to hurt the players more than the team because they're all in contract years, which is part of the cold-blooded nature of the NFL. We'll go through them one at a time. I'll let you decide if I am injecting way too much copium. Starting with the worst, safety Quentin Lake, arguably the top defensive back for the Rams. He underwent elbow surgery Tuesday. The NFL Network, though, is reporting Lake could return during a Rams playoff run, and even with a wee bit of luck, maybe late in the regular season. Lake had played every defensive snap of the Rams season until he got injured. He recorded 61 tackles and an interception. Now, they never officially named him the star of the defense. You might recall, if you're a longtime Rams fan, they created a name for a position for Jalen Ramsey back when he was in LA. You know, kind of a hybrid defensive back, linebacker, defensive end kind of thing. It sure looked, though, like Lake was playing the star position. So the question becomes, do they have a safety? Do they have anyone in the defensive backfield who could line up like an extra linebacker against the run, who could cover a tight end, or maybe even be a surprise pass rusher? Now, Sean McVay didn't specifically say. If you're looking at the Rams' depth chart, they absolutely want to keep Darius Williams and Emmanuel Forbes on the outside. McVay credited Josh Wallace for filling in for Lake. Roger McCreary might be a surprise idea. He's played mostly on special teams since he came to LA, but he has experience as a slot corner, which is not precisely the same as a safety, but Lake played slot corner as well. Again, though, this goes back to the cold-blooded nature of the NFL, though, because the Rams are going to get in the playoffs. I mean, it's not official, but it's about as close to a done deal as we're going to get. I have to mention that Lake, again, is in the final year of his rookie deal. And the Rams do not place a ton of capital on defensive backs. And they have 9 draft picks. So if Lake doesn't come back before the end of the year, his value goes down. Maybe he doesn't return to LA. Secondly, tight end Tyler Higbee injured his ankle against Seattle. Now, I admit, I have been absolutely front and center touting how wonderfully primal 13 personnel is, the 3 tight end formations, because I'm a guy. I like watching people hitting each other. I like watching one group of people overwhelming another group. Hell, sometimes I treat myself to watching these computer simulations of like 10 gorillas versus 1,000 men and just watching the gorillas mow through everybody with blood and guts and bones just flying all over the place. That's what 13 personnel reminds me of. That's how primal. And yes, I need better hobbies. I understand. But I guess we're just going to have to settle for 12 personnel now. That brings us to the third guy, right tackle Rob Havenstein, the third player on the IR. Havenstein and Higbee have both become injury prone in the last couple of seasons. And I might add something else. Havenstein was injured earlier this year. Warren McClendon was surprisingly effective when he stepped in. So yeah, if you're looking for where does this hurt, Lake, because of his versatility on defense, Higbee, because of the new wrinkle of 13 personnel, and then Havenstein. And I hate saying it, the NFL is cold-blooded. They are all kind of expendable. I'm not happy about saying it, but you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Meanwhile, over in Westwood, Mick Cronin was asked if he benched 4 starters against Sacramento State to send a message. He denied that was the reason, and then he doubled down on the lie by claiming that he doesn't even have a quote-unquote doghouse. Cronin said, quote, "I don't believe in it. I'm not being funny. I placed the guys who tonight I thought were going to give us a chance to get off to a great start. How did I assess that? The way we practiced yesterday," unquote. And that's a lie. I realize it's annoying. It's absolutely annoying to get lied to in such a bald-faced manner. I get lied to all the time. I know this. But in this case with Cronin, I don't particularly care. For one, it's Sacramento State. What are we talking about, right? If nobody knows your school's nickname, you're not beating UCLA no matter who the hell Cronin throws out there. That final score, that result was a fait accompli. Secondly, UCLA's roster is deep enough to where the second team could stand to just get a few more minutes out on the court anyway. Because when it comes to the Big Ten campaign, you're going to need some of those second stringers to step up. And third, the most important reason, yeah, it is a message. I know he lied. Here's his message. Cronin is saying, hey guys, I do not want to just qualify for the NCAAs. I need this team to make a deep run. And if this roster can't make a deep run, my job security starts to become just a little bit shakier. See, look at UCLA's history, right? Ben Howland, 3 appearances in the Final Four, gets run. Steve Alford gets the Bruins to the Sweet 16 3 times in 4 years. Unemployment line. Benching starters in a game that none of us are going to remember in about 3 days, it's a lot better than throwing them all under the bus in a public tirade during a post-game presser. Publicly shaming people, which is something Mick Cronin did a lot last year. It doesn't get the desired result. Depriving players of playing time? Oh, that's a much better option. Because he doesn't have to say anything. And the message gets through. I want to give you a glimpse into what may be a change for LeBron James. Now, I want to make it abundantly clear. The sample size that we have is 30 minutes of one basketball game. Way too small. But James, in those 30 minutes, did not hold on to the ball. this is what normally happens when he's running the show. He dribbles, he calls for a mismatch, and then he keeps dribbling until the pick and roll develops, right? That takes up a lot of time. But Monday night, when he got the ball, he only held it for an average of 2.46 seconds. Maybe he dribbled twice at the most and then shot or passed. No, I didn't hold a stopwatch. Just to be clear, I have a life. Some other poor bastard who doesn't have a life held the stopwatch. But why does it matter? Because when LeBron James runs everything, when he was the guy with the Lakers, he'd hold the ball for almost 5 seconds. Now, you got Luka Doncic out there, right? He holds the ball for an average of 5.22 seconds. So, if both of those guys decide to go alpha male on each other and they're battling over running the offense, if both of them were holding possession of the ball for 5 seconds and you're not named Luka Doncic or LeBron James, why would you run? Why would you move off the ball when there's no way you're going to get the ball? But if James is passing quick, now everybody has a reason to move. So the question becomes, will this become a permanent adjustment? I doubt it. I totally doubt it. It's not like James has been totally willing to pass the torch. He could have passed it years ago to Kyrie Irving. But maybe he's ready to do it now. Or at least he's ready to finally change. I just thought I'd keep you in the loop. I ain't predicting it staying. Yesterday, we talked at length about ESPN hyping up the interest between Cody Bellinger and the Dodgers. So, of course, the scribes ran to Bellinger's agent, and this is the reason why you shouldn't buy into any of these rumors. Because Bellinger's agent is Scott Boras. We have long established that despite how deep the Dodger pockets are, and believe you me, they are deep, the Dodgers look at Boras the same way any dude should look at Jennifer Lopez. You look and you say, you know what? You've overrated your worth. I have self-respect. Hard pass. The hardest of passes. See, I'm guessing this Bellinger talk is simply Boras trying to twist the Yankees' arm to get a better contract. And by the way, why do you see stories? You may have seen these rumors on top of rumors about outfielder Kyle Tucker supposedly in the running for $500 million. Is it possible that his agent is falsely claiming that the Dodgers want him? I said it before the rumors started flying. The reason the Dodgers get linked to everybody, and I mean everybody, is the agents are using the big blue money monster to extort a larger contract out of the other teams. And the Dodgers are perfectly willing to let those rumors fly anyway. Why? Because everybody shoots a big, massive hole in their payroll while the Dodgers are like, we didn't sign him. Why'd you sign him? We didn't. Look at the way the Padres are run. Everything they do is, look at the way the Mets are run. They both think that throwing money at the team is the way to solve it. The Dodgers actually are kind of choosy. Would you like a super simple reason why UCLA football's brief rebirth became afterbirth? Because when offensive coordinator Jerry Neuheisel took over the play calling duties, the Bruins became run first, which is not a bad idea. But other teams can adjust too, and they countered that by putting more people in the box. The Bruins simply don't have anyone good enough to throw to regularly. If you did, that would eventually open up running lanes. And by the way, that's just not my opinion. Interim coach Tim Skipper said after the Ohio State game, quote, "The box is loaded. Washington's going to load the box too. They've been that way every game. They play a ton of man. They're going to stop the run. They dictate everything to it. We played some very, very, very good defense stopping the run. I mean, those boxes are loaded up," unquote. Now, you might sit there and say to yourself, okay, maybe now it's time for UCLA to adjust. But Skipper said the Bruins are totally happy to keep stepping on that rake. Quote, "We're going to continue to keep on doing that. You got to keep blocking. You got to keep moving your feet. We just have to keep moving piles forward, and eventually they break. But we're not going to go away from that. We're going to continue to try to keep winning in the trenches," unquote. Well, he's interim for a reason. Worked for almost a month, and now they're back to square one. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about what you think the Rams are going to do now that they're down 3 starters. For that matter, are you for or against Mick Cronin and the way he runs UCLA basketball? And if you enjoyed the update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.